Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I'm Lisa Richmond, and welcome to my channel. I'm happy to have you here. Today feels like I'm starting off, okay, brutal truth, starting this day off feeling a little shaky. I'm feeling a little like the vibrations are kind of wonky, but I have to say, like, when I meditated before this and I kind of did my little tune in that I always do, I asked Spirit to kind of guide me in the direction that they wanted me to go for what the collective needed to hear. And there's three main points. So, number one, they said that starting now, and this is a timeless reading, really. So whenever you're watching it, this is the message for you. If you're watching it in real time, we are in mid-April and we're heading into kind of the week before Easter, if you celebrate Easter, but like kind of springtime in the northern hemisphere. We're entering into Taurus season from Aries, and this is something that they wanted me to talk about as being like it is now we're starting to ground a little bit, especially in the areas in which we like really need to ground. So there has been a lot of fire energy. There's been a lot of, honestly, like chaos within the cosmos, within collective energy. And there's been like mishaps, there's been misunderstandings. We've been pretty harsh with our words. We've been receptive of kind of harsh realities. The full moon brought us this awareness of relationships and what they mean to us, and like maybe like what we really deem as important, like within relationships or within ourselves, right? And so the first point that they wanted me to talk about was that we're going to be moving into a little bit smoother ground, especially in the area of like grounding ourselves in and starting to feel a little bit more chill, like a little bit like the ground is not set like so terrain where we're like jumping from rock to rock, and it's more like, oh, okay, the path is kind of widening and is kind of leveling out. Now I can start to actually enjoy my surroundings and not actually be in like survival mode, where I know I can get through, as I know this is an important part of the hike, but like to get through this stint is the most dangerous, and I'm kind of in survival mode. And then you really get into it and you're like, "Oh my God, what's really important to me in my life?" Like, you're getting into that kind of like, they're really giving me this analogy of the hiker where, when you're in survival mode, you're literally like evaluating, what do I actually want? Like, what is the most important to me? What do I want with relationships, with my life? How do I want to feel? Like, what am I doing? Am I in this collective illusion of working because I feel like I have to until I retire, in which then I can start to enjoy my life, and my life is just for the work, and like all of a sudden you have this epiphany of, it's like, wait a sec, I want to actually start enjoying things a little bit more. So they're saying like there is a bit of that epiphany that might have occurred over the full moon or this past little weekend, or just like that's kind of what we're moving out of. And now we're kind of like, okay, we're safe, I'm safe. But I really did realize that this is important to me and this isn't important to me, and I want to start implementing this, and not like baby it with a bathwater, maybe not like everything all at once, but maybe I just want to piece by piece start putting things together in an order that aligns with what, when I was in survival mode and everything kind of came to the surface. I'm like, what do I actually want? This is it, right? This is the evaluation period. And that kind of leads into the second thing, which was this idea that everybody's kind of in search of what their purpose is. What am I here to do? Okay, not everybody, but I'm saying like a vast majority of people that I've done readings for and such will often ask that question. And especially when we've kind of come into this awakening period where it's like, okay, I'm awake now. I know what I want. I know what's illusion. I know what's all being fed to us as a lie. I know what I subscribed to in the programming of the past, in which I no longer subscribe to, and therefore I don't want it anymore. But here I land. Now what? What am I supposed to do with this now? So I was given some amazing advice over the weekend by a fellow intuitive. And she said to me, Lisa, your guides are giving me the three things for you. Let's simplify it. The first, most important on your checklist of importance is you, your health, you, everything for you, and the betterment of you. Because if you're not here, then the rest doesn't matter. Like, you're always the first, right? Second, for me, was my family. So I have four kids, and I have, like my brothers and my sisters and my parents and stuff too, but that's all family, but it's and like very, very close cousin that is like my sister, like, you know what I mean, like family. And then the third thing was my, what I have not given as like my purpose, because I think that's like really pigeonholing it. But the third thing for me is what I feel called to in life is to serve for the greater good of humanity and earth. And so by doing that, I really focus on my work, which is providing videos of downloads, connecting and committing to my connection with spirit, because through that connection it then like fulfills one and two as well, right? And then three, which is my work, or I don't, it's not work for me, but doing readings, one-on-one readings, providing um guidance towards spirit or towards individuals greater good for them, right? My past, as I was a developmental psychologist, an early childhood psychologist, and my area was development, like brain development from well, I say birth, but it's really like in utero, to about 6, the brain development during like chronic trauma. So I studied the brain and the brain development with trauma. So my thing is kind of like trauma. And then it expanded out from there as soon as Mother Mary visited me, and gave me, you know, a download. Essentially, she talked to me about now it's time for me to step in and working for, the greater good, and using my knowledge, but now connecting and co-collaborating with spirit and my guides and the beautiful ascended masters that come in to help. And it took me a long time. You guys, this was like 10 years ago. It took me a long time to really develop my skill, develop my connection, develop my ability to connect in the way I do, and then build this trust within myself. So going back to the whole point of why I'm saying this is, if something comes up and it's not fulfilling 1, 2, or 3, it's not really pouring into 1, 2, and 3, then it's really not for me. Because like there could even be something where I'm taking in a lot of stuff and doing a ton of work, ton of work, ton of work, because it's fulfilling 3. But if it's actually taking away from 1 or 2, then I have to pull back and go back to 1, 2, and then 3. And that was the biggest aha moment for me, because I think a lot of us, when we're focusing on our purpose or our dharma or what lights us up, especially when it comes to spirit and like how we're being driven for the greater good, we're waking up from the illusion of what our programming was. We're really seeking on what can we do. And spirit's whole thing is that you'll never have to search. You're going to continue to have it unveiled essentially for you once you've reached the point of understanding, as long as 1 and 2, your health and the health of your family or the people around you, is number 1. But you're always, doesn't matter who you are, you're always number 1. You might have a different 2, but maybe like 2 would be like your pets or your surroundings or whatever it is. But for me, it's one, those are my 1, 2, and 3. And so I would really encourage you to really like dig into what 2 and 3 is for you. And look at the things that are in your life right now as we're moving into the more earth-based, the grounding energy. Because as soon as you release the tendency of control and having to know and like almost overwhelm of managing what's in front of you and all the healing, and I've been healing and growing and blah blah blah, it's like, now what? Now I want to like put it all into purpose. I get that, but your purpose is your existence. And the more that you're in the flow from your highest and greatest good, then the path opens, and what you are called to do, what your blueprint, what you're here to do, be, experience, share, receive will naturally unfold, because that's the co-collaboration between you, your guides, your guidance team, your higher power, and essentially you wouldn't come here if you didn't have that in play. But we tend to skip by the number one, which is ourselves. And that's what this is right now. If we've kind of hit that like awakening, that aha moments, um, not aha, sorry, the awakening and that like waking up and being like, holy smokes, like I feel a sense of this empowerment, this waking up, this connection to spirit, this connection to my like very, deep, deep connection to this faith of whatever kind. I feel like that's what's really appearing very evidently now alongside like the chaos. So it's starting to become very evident between the two, whether something is very fear based or whether something's very like intuitively based, or whether soul guidance or like authentic, which is like love and faith, and fear is the other. You know what I mean? Love and fear. So if somebody's coming up to you and they're like giving you a bunch of fear stuff, bless them, because maybe they're in that, but you can know right away then that for sure is not feeling one, or you're one or two or three. Okay? So those are the messages straight up. I hope that you receive them in an empowerment way. If you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I bet now you're saying, Lisa, what's three? You said at the beginning there's three messages. So I gave 1, 2, and 3, but 2 and 3 are kind of mixed. Is designing, like finding out what your like purpose is more essentially allowing what is in your design to unfold. And then 3 is by choosing you as number 1, right? And that being the filtration system. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start by using the Wisdom of Avalon deck by Colette Baron Reed, and see if there's any messages from Spirit and the Wisdom of Avalon, which is my home. That's where I like to hang out. At least I associate with that being my home in this incarnation. So when I came in this life to do experience, feel, and spread, comes from the experience that I associate, the energy that I held closest to this incarnation, which is from Avalon. If you have any questions on that, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, Wisdom of Avalon. The Fire Fairy, creative action and optimism. Good. I like that, because although I did say we're going into more earth-based stuff, she's this is number 30, so number 3 if that resonates. So I like this because this is the creative action and optimism is very much about like saying, okay, I'm ready to kind of move forward now. I'm kind of getting annoyed by the like slow moving energy of the fear-based human, and I'm really like, I'm seeing things for what it is now, but like I can't really move forward because the collective hasn't caught up. And the illusion of that is that the collective hasn't caught up. There's way more people who are looking for that same connection as you. That community-based energy is really strong right now. And so this card is really saying, keep that optimism in the forefront. Keep your energy, that creation. We talked about this last week too. What can you connect with in a creative way that allows you to really step forward in your authentic power so that you can connect, co-create with your soul tribe, but like also like creating community that has that like-minded mentality, so you can start building within that, the people, individual situations that are resonating in that same frequency as you. So that the shakiness of like really upgrading into this higher timeline is starting to mellow out again, like I said. So have faith that you're going to find your community. Have that optimism, doing those things that really light you up. I said this again, like the light you up. That's what ultimately leads you into your purpose-filled life. That's the action to take. The owl is number 13, 1, 3. Okay, deception and wisdom. Okay, so deception is all about the shadow side of it, really, of looking at this. 13, 1, 3 in the tarot is death, so rebirth. And what's really coming through with this, also they're saying the owl is a confirmation for somebody there. If you are looking for confirmation and owl is a symbolism for you, this is your confirmation. Okay, so the wisdom of this is being able to, if you take the two words deception and wisdom, the thing is like, fool me once, like you suck. Fool me twice, I should have known better. So I know that's not how it goes. That's just Lisa's version. Okay. Feel free to use it. Yeah, so you can look at an action or you can look at a behavior and you can say without judgment, you can say, ah, no, I've seen this before. There's a bit of a red flag happening here. You're using your wisdom, your intuition, your grounded knowledge and saying, yeah, I'm just not going to go down this path anymore. Like, I feel like I've learned this. Thank you, Spirit, for bringing it into my attention again so that I can make the conscious choice not to engage. And then that's like, okay, check, lesson learned. We can ascend from this. Okay, so the wisdom piece is really important. You don't need to get too overly attached to it, and you don't need to get too uptight about it either. They're just saying, like, the amount of wisdom that you've gained from the position that you're in right now allows you to go forward really with being able to identify the things that pull you into fear or the things that you're like, no, 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 I've walked this path long enough to know that that's not the path I want to go down over there. I'm going to keep walking here. I know this because I have experience. They're saying, like, really dig into your experience. Now you're resonating in a higher frequency timeline. It's important that you trust the wisdom that you've gained along the way. Now you have that wisdom. Nobody can ever take that away from you. It's and you know, like, you can look back and be like, whew, that sucked. That whole experience sucked. But really, what it left you with is a whole, like, sack full of amazing knowledge so that you can identify in the future as you continue to walk what you want and what you don't want. Everything has purpose. Okay, and protection. I love this. You're deeply protected. Okay, and this is number 38 or 11. So if 11, and I like this because it's like walking the path to the water. Really, it's like walking, if water is a symbolism, which it definitely is for me, walking the path to the water. It's like taking this is, everything's about the path, right? Protection. You protected along your path. You're walking this path now. You're very grounded in your wisdom and your knowledge. Trust that you're protected. Keep walking. You have the wisdom from the past to get you there, okay? I love that. That's really great. Okay, I'm going to go in. Oh, I got Colette Barron Reed's Good Tarot as well. She's the one who's guiding us today. So this is her tarot deck. And I like this deck because it doesn't have reverse meaning. It's only about, like, okay, let's bring us into our light and our highest good. And it definitely comes out in certain energies. They're saying one is interesting because it has the giant moon. Like, this is what it looks like on the moon card that she has. But it's that giant full moon, and we just had that full moon. And we're still feeling the energies of it. That didn't pop out. That was just my small hands in these giant cards. So, all right. Divine guidance team, please allow our collective to get any messages that they might need to hear from the tarot, however you want to say it. Queen of Air. You guys, I gotta say, here's another owl. The owl is like, bam. Okay, so there's a double confirmation of the wisdom. That owl, that wisdom. The Queen of Swords, she's the one who's walking the path and being like, do not try to fool me again. I know. I walk here with this wisdom, with this sharp mind, and you cannot fool the Queen of Swords. You cannot fool her. She is dynamic, right? She's intuitive. She's a strength. She's a leader. But, you know, she's smart. She's very clear with what she wants, and she's clear with with her boundaries. They're saying, too, it's like that. The sword part of it is like cutting your boundaries, and the wisdom of the owl that is hanging out with us today is all about, like, we make our reality based on the experiences in which we've endured. That's why it's impossible for us to actually ever really know how somebody else is feeling, because you don't have their experiences and you don't have their perception. So you couldn't possibly. We can do our best from our perspective or our empathic perspective on how we perceive how they're perceiving it, but we don't really know, right? So the whole thing about this is like nobody else actually knows how you're feeling. So like make those boundaries clear. Don't throw any judgment on anybody else because you have no idea what they're experiencing. And the fact that you've endured what you've endured is all part of the plan. It's all part of your life's resume. And now you have that wisdom and you're walking forward and the ground is solid now. Now it's like, I really feel like moving forward now is so much more clear and significant for you than the first part of the year, like the first quarter, I guess. And then we have call number 20 or 2. It's a judgment. That's a judgment card. That's so powerful. We're being called forward. We're making our choices. This is an unbelievably powerful card because we are being called forward in our authentic selves with all of our experiences, with all like getting through the terrain and that like living in kind of survival mode. Now, like, you can't fool us. We know too much. You can blab all you want on TV, try to, groups can try to convince you of what they heard and, oh, did you know? Oh, what they're saying. Let them. You might have heard the whole wave of let them. If not, it's as simple as that, is let them. Let them. Oh, but what if it affects you? No, let them. You have heard the call on your authentic self, okay? You have the damn wisdom now because you have gotten through it. There's no stopping you. You can't have anybody convince you of something else, okay? And I love this because the Queen of Air is the queen of holding her number one, right? Does this align with my highest and greatest good? No, I don't have to go any further. Yes, okay. What's my number 2? Does it align with the highest and greatest good of my number 2? Yeah, okay. Number 3, does it align? Okay, that's good. And honestly, like, that's your filtration system. If it can't get past 1, absolutely not. Doesn't matter what it is. That's the boundaries of the Queen of Air. That's the boundaries, right? And the more that you live that, the more that you teach others how to live that, and you teach others how to treat you in that, okay? I was going to pull, I'm going to pull another one. This is the last one. It's from the Blue Angel Oracle. These cards are just so, so, so amazing. They're so beautiful. I'll put the 3 decks in the description if I can remember. If I can't, then put it in the comments. I'm remembering too, somebody asked about channeling stones. I'll talk about that after. Okay, highest and greatest good of the collective. Final message for the collective to go on. These messages come from beautiful Archangel Michael. These cards can be brought through with a message from Archangel Michael. Please, for the collective, the divine. Multi-dimensional healing. Ooh. Now, isn't this the most beautiful card I've ever seen? Okay, so, number 5, change. Huge change happening, isn't it? Multidimensional healing. It's interesting because we've gone through so much. We've upgraded and then our physical body had to kind of go. We've had these physical chakra clearings that have gone through our systems, and woo, that wasn't pretty. All the way up, everyone's having like throat chakra clearings, throat chakra upgrades, and it's like it's affecting us from 1 all the way through 7, and that is the multidimensional aspect of our healing. So that will likely resonate with you in this, but this is all about like when you're, and again, you guys, I gotta say, look at the color, look at the wingspan, and then you see the queen, with her like head with the feathers and the bird, and then the call you're being called for. We got the angel wings, angels, you guys, and look at the fire fairy, she's got the wings. There's something really significant about us rising up in our divinity through the like that wingspan of this like we are all multi-dimensional individuals. We aren't just like 3D humans. We all come with a soul. It doesn't matter what you believe. Actually, it does. I guess atheists, if you're true atheist and you think that we do not carry a soul, maybe then I'm referring to your consciousness, what actually makes you alive. That's what I'm referring to. That resonates in different like aspects of multidimensional functioning. Okay? They're like, just read it. I'm like, okay. Love and prayer is what this is. Number 5. Are you willing to let go of the fear and worry that serve no useful purpose in your life? Are you kidding me? Like, thank you, guidance team, for backing me up with this. I appreciate it. If so, healing is available to you right now. Through the grace of love, the past, present, and future can be healed. Invite healing into your life through prayer. Talk to the angels and ask for their help. There is a sacred flame within you that can be activated by your command. Activate it now. The angels will help you if you believe and trust. At this very moment, you are being filled with healing light. Oh, let's just like receive that. I receive that. Accept and do not doubt it. If tears flow, let them. For this too is part of your healing. Okay. Their final little message is that which is most precious is you. Number 1, baby. Okay, so many messages of healing, many messages of angelic help, the wings, the feathers. We got a ton of obvious, the wisdom from the owls coming through. So please drop in the comments how this resonates with you. I would encourage you to take a minute after this and just like breathe into it and ask your guidance team, ask your angels to come forward with their divine help and guidance so that you can stand firm in your knowing of your ultimate divinity and that you can continue to walk on your path that you came here to walk on. You're doing it. Okay? And then the last thing is, what are channeling stones? Channeling stones are any stone that you hold that connects you and grounds you from source to earth in any capacity. So for me, I have a ton of stones that are big enough to hold in my hand like this. Sometimes I have like this. And when I'm channeling, when I'm doing readings, my guides have told me to hold on to stones because I started doing that just because. And then now it's like no matter what, in a reading, in a mediumship reading, when I'm channeling source, I always have to have these stones because they really help ground me. But they also help elicit this like inner wisdom. And it's less for me about what the write-up of each one says, and it's more to me about how the energy resonates. And then clear them on a regular basis by putting them on a natural fiber. I do a piece of wood with some salt and I put them in the sunshine. And then I clean them off after. Or I don't use water though. I just dust them off. Or you can put them underneath the full moon. It depends what the crystals need. Honestly, nobody's going to tell you. You'll know. Okay? Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this resonated. I really deeply think it did though, because it's a pretty deep reading and it's very intuitively guided. So if you'd like to work with me in the future in any capacity, head on over to my website at lisarichmond.ca, or you can book on avalonspirit.com. I'm there as well. I am an intuitive medium as well as like a kind of a soul guidance. I do soul activation and soul guidance from your team or your higher self. Okay? It's whatever is in your greatest good at the time, and then we can always like choose to connect with loved ones. I also do animal communication. So if you're interested, head on over and we'll find you a good spot and what works for you. Oh, everybody, get some sunshine if you can. Sit in the sun, rebalance your energy, and know that you know what is best for you. First and foremost, now and always. Trust that, okay? Sending you love. Bye.